analog synths, can they still serve a purpose today in the world of digital synthesis and analog emulations? I think so, for a couple of reasons. Like, what first, like an analog synth is it's an instrument in itself, and it has its own kind of buttons and like little quirks, which is interesting. So you learn to perform with this particular synth. Second, when you play live, if you have too much going on in your computer, and there's a crowded room and there's lots of humidity in the air, sometimes the computer just decides to fail you. And it has happened. I've been quite lucky, but I've seen it happen many electronic music concerts. So last time I played, I had analog synths and quite a simple program within Ableton. So to offload the computer, you use analog synths, and then it's a different feeling to sort of walk around between different things and not only the MIDI controllers for the computer. And third is that a computer loses value quite quickly. Analog synths, they can be bought and sold endlessly almost. It's a big market for vintage synths. The Bass Station 2 here, it's like a really simple one. That's why I'm deciding to show you this to you. You can get it cheap. It's monophonic, really simple synth, but it sounds great. And today, I'm going to show you how you can use it in an interesting way to create soundscapes. So I'm going to try to turn this monophonic synth into almost like a polyphonic one. You'll see how. So I also love digital synths. I think there are lots of digital synths that are amazing. So Reactor, Twin 3 by FabFilter, and the Arturia Pigment, amazing. But yeah, I love to have analog synths as well. I think it's a different feeling. Here we have a simple chord, which I'm going to break up a bit with the arpeggiator. So let's see, so we have 16 notes, I don't know, and 3 steps, and the random style. So it's going to pick lots of random notes here. Not random, but it's going to pick from these notes, but it's going to pick the random octave and a random order. So it sounds like this. Not super interesting, right? Sounds very kind of, the sound is nice in the bass station, but it sounds kind of random. So let's add a delay to begin with. Delays, especially when I have this kind of like flow of random, semi-random notes, delay can sometimes ground it a bit, because you hear the same note play again and again and again. It sounds like there's more kind of thought behind each note somehow. I don't know. It's a psychoacoustic thing maybe, or something like that. I just think it sounds nicer. Okay. Then I'm gonna use the hybrid reverb. Came out quite recently in Ableton. Really cool thing. So I'm gonna put the blend of hundreds to use only the algorithm, then use the shimmer algorithm, and you can see that it's an octave higher. Have lots of shimmer, not so much damping, big size. Maybe turn down but then we'll have like 6% or something maybe. So you can hear that does. I just want a little bit sort of like a shiny tail to the bass notes. But now the real magic happens, because I'm going to use the Eventide Blackhole. So lots of you have probably already heard about it or used it. So it's there's also a pedal, Blackhole pedal hardware you can use, but I'm going to use the software here. And yeah, if we press play, it's just going to be a big reverb. So I'll turn off the size. Well, this can be nice to use, but this is not what I want to use, because I'm going to create a soundscape, as I said. So large size, no modulation here, but lots of feedback, and then also resonance. Maybe I turn down the low a little bit more and up with the high. When you feed lots of notes into something like a really big reverb or a granular effect, it tends to build up a lot of energy in the lower frequencies. So let's see what happens here, especially the bass station, you know. Stop there because I want some distortion to this as well to make it a bit more gritty. So the Ableton Roar, I think it just came out in 12 actually. Was it in 11? I don't think so. I think it's 12. So just a little bit of the tone up is going to be more bright, right? Maybe turn the output down a bit and then see. That's quite different from what we heard in the beginning, right? Next up, I'm going to use the minor scale here. So every note that's going to be outside of the minor scale, C minor, is going to be moved to C minor before it sends it to create actual audio. So it's going to just edit the MIDI notes for the audio. And then if I have the random here, which you can create random jumps in pitch, then you can create something like this. So it just sounds like this, but with it sounds like this. So what happens is, because it's only 20% of the notes that are being changed, and it can jump all the way up to 12 semitones, between 1 and 12 semitones up in pitch, and then quantized to the C minor. So we have like these small variations in the notes that it mostly plays the notes that I wrote in, but sometimes it moves them up. So you still feel like this massive sort of, those main notes are still there, but they don't play all the time. You get like sometimes like these variations in pitch, which I think sounds a bit nicer for this soundscape. You could even use only the pitch function to move all the notes by a certain value. So. So yeah. If you have a bass station or similar synth and want to try this, I just took the first preset in there, and then so it's like a really simple sound, but you can also try more complicated sounds. Just try different presets and feed it through the system, see what happens. So obviously you need to have monitoring off so it doesn't send audio. It goes through this monitoring within the Ableton Live, so I can put effects on it. So what you get is a little bit of latency, so it can be hard to use live sometimes. But Soundscapes are usually fine because they don't have to be, on the beat. Can be worse when you have like really rhythmic stuff. But yeah, try it out and see what you think. So yeah, this is one way to sort of breathe new life into the old bass station and have fun with it again. So I hope you enjoy it. And subscribe to my playlist if you want. It's called Ableton Live for Curious Minds. Yes, see you next time.